Well, thanks for putting up the video. I really appreciate it. I think you're doing well. I really like Reuben Train. That really sounds great. And you've got everything up here on the neck fine. But I wanted to talk to you a little bit about something I learned from a master player named Mark Deutsch. I took lessons years ago as a kid, but I haven't taken them in years. But I did take a few lessons for a few months from a guy named Mark Deutsch, who's a fantastic sitar and Benzandar player. Classically trained professional musician. It was really cool. Now you can look him up on YouTube. He's got some fantastic music. One of the things he talked about was you can't sustain tension. And it seems like a very easy thing to say, but it's much harder to do, especially when you're playing because you're tensed up, and you're holding, you're trying to hold the instrument or whatever. But in clawhammer, I think it's much more difficult because you can actually freeze your hand into this construct, and do pretty well, okay? So I'd like to try to talk to you about is the right hand, which he had another saying, which I don't know if it was him or his predecessor, Henry Lowe, who was the classical bassist for the St. Louis Symphony for years. He said, the brains are in the bow, and the bow is the right hand. The bow is the one that's articulating the notes, that's moving across the strings and generating the sound. And that has stuck with me ever since, and I think it's true. So what I noticed is when you're playing, this hand seems pretty rigid, okay? And what I'd like to suggest, see, my hand is completely relaxed from the wrist, fingers, everything is relaxed, okay? And it's hard when if this is all tightened up, to reach down and pluck out individual notes within your pattern, okay? However, if my fingers are all relaxed, I can still keep this motion going, and I can drop down and pick up a few notes with my playing finger, either your index or middle. I can be done with either one. Giving up my frail, okay? I'm just reaching down and picking the melody out of the strumming pattern I'm using. It kind of reminds me of a flat picking technique for guitar, where you've got your pick going and then you just reach in and grab a few notes while you're moving your hand. So how do you get this? How do you loosen this hand up? Well, I think one thing you can do, instead of just hitting a single note or a single string when you frail, is to walk down the strings. So hit your 4th string and strum thumb, then 3rd string strum thumb, 2nd string strum thumb, 1st string strum thumb. So yeah, the 2 strings here are tuned in unison because I'm tuned in that tuning for Raleigh and Spencer, okay? So there's a little bit of this action too, okay? I'm actually incorporating a little bit of opening my hand a bit to get to brush the strings.